Episode 6 of Invincible was just released, and they keep the ball rolling with the plot after last week being more so filler. And I would say it's just one bad thing that we have about this episode. It's just we're so invested in the Invincible story that when we move on to Teen Team, it's still good, but I'm here to watch Mark Grayson, Adam Eve, and everyone else. Teen Team's kind of taking like a back seat here. I don't necessarily want to see them. I want to see what happens next.
They're just not as interesting, and it takes away from what's going on. It's kind of like jet lag in that way. It's just like I'm here and now I'm here.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest change for this season, especially why we now have this issue where I feel like last couple seasons we didn't have this issue with switching back and forth, is because now these side characters aren't even part of the main plot anymore. Whereas in season one and season two, they're able to weave them into the main plot where they still mattered, and now they really are
They
just
just
side
don't.
characters. Yeah, they don't matter. But after that, it's this show's still amazing. I This episode's really good. I even from the opening, it immediately hooked me. I liked seeing from a civilian perspective the Chicago incident from season one. Seeing that from a civilian level was terrifying, and I don't know about. I'm guessing Edward came to the same realization that I did, but that was pretty much straight out of BVS. Like it was nearly the same, and a lot of this episode was very similar to BVS, which I thought was funny. And we got introduced to the character of Powerplex, and I thoroughly enjoyed him as a villain. I think in terms of season three villains, maybe even season two villains, I would say he's my favorite out of these two seasons. I really enjoyed his backstory and his complex, as well as his obsession with Mark Grayson and wanting superheroes to pay for crimes and damages that they committed. I mean, we've all seen season one and the devastation that was caused by Omni-Man and Invincible that absolutely leveled Chicago, and there are no repercussions for it. I mean, Invincible broke into the Pentagon is just merely a slap on the wrist. And so I found his story very compelling, especially after seeing the first couple of scenes with the devastation of Chicago from street level. It makes sense. I really enjoyed that perspective, and I enjoyed his character a lot, and especially as he's got more and more delusional. I thought he was a very compelling villain, and I enjoyed the what it brought to Mark, that further dynamic and questioning of what he's doing. And I like how the other heroes in his and Eve, what they do to help shelter him from it and protect him is like, yeah, if you confront him, it's only gonna get worse. Just let us take care of it. And then they moved in until eventually Mark actually had to. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the main plot line for this episode. I thought it was very well done, and I'm looking forward to just to continue with what comes next.
I think it's a good episode. I think it does set things up. I do like the fact that, they're at least hinting or trying to say, hey, look, so there's collateral damage, man. Because in a lot of movies that you saw, and I think a lot of people complain, even the Snyder Bros complain about, Man of Steel, where Metropolis gets turned to shit, and then like the next movie is just like, I know they do mention it briefly because that's Bruce Wayne's issue with the guy is like he fucking leveled the city, but it's like he's the only one having an issue with it here. The only other time I can think of where they've shown devastation, and I guess it's because everybody was like bitching about Marvel. It's like, oh, look at everything that happens, and like next movie everything's okay. Civil War did that really well, and that's
Mhm.
essentially the premise of Civil War. Is like, look, dude, you guys can't just blow shit up, and just there's got to be repercussions for it. Here, they're the fact that at least one guy is like, look, man, this we need to pay for this. You can't just but if you're going to be superheroes and you're going to be out there breaking shit, you got to pay for it. I do like the villain. I think it's a much more interesting villain than what at least what I've seen before. And the show's solid, man. The action's good. The animation, as I've said before, the animation's great. There are scenes where our main character, I get a lot of like Damian Wayne, but also very young Bruce Wayne vibes from him. So I like that.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything else bad to say about the show other than that the moving back and forth from our core characters to this other team. But other than that, if that's my only complaint, man, seriously, it's a good show. It's great to be able to tell you guys how good this show is, how awesome the animation is. If you haven't given it a shot yet, please do so. It's on Amazon Prime.
I will say, I am so excited for the next two episodes for because we only have two more. It's going to be the finale, and I am so excited for Invincible War. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I'm so excited for next week. This is going to be so cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't seen our previous reviews for this season, please go check them out. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.
Take care, guys.